Hello everybody, welcome. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little here so you have a prettier view. There we go. Oops. How's that? See all my little birdies flying around? Well, welcome back. I'm home and how are you feeling? How am I feeling? Let's sit here together and ask, hey, how am I feeling? Hello, Julianne. Wonderful to see you. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Framily. So good to be here with you. So we're going to have a community discussion. How am I feeling? Hi, Pants. Hi, James. So good to see you. So how am I feeling? Hello, Hunter. What's going on, Recovery Buddy? Hey, Deborah. Good to see you. I know I've been traveling. And I came on here last week, but I was traveling and we went for a walk and it's less wobbly today. So, hi Tabby Ba. So how am I feeling? Sit in your body and take a deep breath or a shallow breath, whatever you prefer. Hi Bridget. Hello. Hi Kira. Hello Poppy. Hello John Harvey. So how are you feeling? Let's sit with ourselves. Let's just ask, like, how am I feeling? Right? Because it matters. Hi, Lance. So happy to see each and every one of you. Hello, Melissa. Hi, Anne. There are 2 Anns here tonight. So good to see you guys. So good to be here. Oh, Deborah says, I haven't communicated with family for a while. Well, it's wonderful to have you here with us. I love being with my family, my friendly family of choice. Joey says, hey, Athena. I had 5 cortisone shots in my lower back this morning and I had a panic attack because I felt so exposed. I'm so sorry, Miss Joey. I'm glad you're here with us. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Sharon. Ooh, Pants says physical feelings or emotional feelings? Well, I'm going to talk about both. What do you think? Which would you prefer to talk about? Tabby Boss says, I feel a little dissociated. I have therapy tomorrow. Ooh, I have therapy Friday. Ann Austin says, hi, Kira. Hi, John Harvey. Jeffrey says, how we're feeling matters. Thank you for saying that, Mama Bear Athena. You're so welcome. It does matter. It really does matter. How we are feeling matters. Hello, Patrice. So happy to see you. Yeah, Pants says it's all pretty related. Yeah, the time changes, seriously, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't even know what time zone I'm on right now. I've been in all these different time zones over the past few weeks. So, good evening, Miss Vi. Hello. Hello to Kira. Hello to Shannon O'Brien. Oh, John Harvey says, physical feeling, the emotionally sad. I'm so sorry. Oh. Shy Sharon says, I had an emergency dentist procedure with a new dentist. Oh, root canal. I'm so sorry. So sorry. That's scary. I would feel that was scary. Yes, I imagine it was traumatic. Seriously. Do you guys see my little birdies? Hello, they are so cute. They're just hanging out with us. I love that they're just appearing out of nowhere, like just hanging out. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna sit back for a moment and let's see. Oh, wait. Hi, Doris. So Doris says, hi, Athena. First time joining the live chat. I've only recently started watching your videos from 2014 and 15 and was wondering how we can actually get a hold of those 1-pages that were on the videos. Ooh, awesome. Send an email to info@cptsdfoundation.org and then just say, hi, Athena. I was wondering if you could give me access to the 1-pages, and then I'll see what I can do. It's a hard thing. I sort of have been paying for everything and managing it all myself, and it's a lot to keep up with. So I'll do my best. Send over an email. Hi, Nexus. Thank you so much for being here, Doris. I'm so happy that you chose to be here, and I'm really glad you found our channel, and I'm glad you're here on the live video. Really, really glad that you're here. I love my birdies too. Ooh, the weather is warming up with Joey. If it hit the 70s today, woohoo! So excited spring is here. Oh, Lance is feeling frustrated. Nexus is waving. Oh, Shy Sharon says, now I remember why I hate the dentist. Yuck. She's a great person. Just not in my trauma realm. Oh, I'm so, so sorry. Eee. Hunter says, I'm adjusting to letting in all the feels. That's really, really hard to do. That's really hard to do. Anne says, we already hit the mid 80s. My goodness. So welcome to each and every one of you. I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to look at the live stream for a minute or the chat box. But I do want to just sit with, you know, how is it that we're feeling? How do we feel? It does matter. And the reason that I'm reminding us that it matters is because we forget. And especially if we're busy and we're doing other things, like for instance, I was traveling on business, and it was a good thing. And then I got the news that my mother-in-law passed away. And there were a lot of arrangements that needed to be made, not with the memorial service in general, because my sister-in-law, who is incredibly amazing, I don't even know how she does all the stuff she does, she's amazing, she handled all the arrangements. And my husband wrapped up his work week as quickly as he could, hopped on a plane, and got to southwestern Minnesota. And my brother-in-law, he was there throughout the whole thing. And then my sister-in-law's husband, my other brother-in-law, he helped out so much. And then we had our niece, our nephew. They were each flying in from different locations. And then I couldn't get a good flight out from where I was. I was on the mainland on business. I was in Spokane, Washington. I couldn't get a decent flight out that was going to cost, you know, less than like $2,000 round trip, given that I was located in eastern Washington and they're in rural southwestern Minnesota. So the closest airport is either 90 minutes to 2 hours from South Dakota, or like a few hours, you know, 10-hour round trip from Minneapolis. So I ended up driving, just to update you, from Washington to Minnesota, and it was a beautiful drive, and I feel blessed that I was able to experience that. But I think I did my best to check in and ask myself how I was feeling. I listened to my body pretty well while I was driving, and I did the best I possibly could with the time I had and with the resources I had and with the vehicle I had. And, you know, I needed to purchase appropriate clothing for a celebration of life ceremony in rural conservative Minnesota. And you know, I bought a suit for my husband, and I bought a suit for me, and, you know, and that kind of stuff takes time. And then the stuff I ordered online didn't show up in time, even though they said it would. So that had to be returned. And then the wonderful people that I stayed with at an Airbnb, they returned it for me, since it arrived way after they said it was going to. And, you know, it was just a really, really hard thing, you know, just juggling a lot of pieces, a lot of moving parts. And then in addition to all of the actual in real time things that you need to coordinate, there's the emotional part of it, right? So physically I was a little sore from traveling, but I was feeding my body the healthiest foods I possibly could while traveling, while making sure to balance that out with something that sounded fun, if that was something I was in the mood for. For many of you who have been here for quite some time, maybe since 2014, 15, 16, all the way till now in 2019, I've lost 20 pounds And I'm just doing my best to sort of eat healthier and, get more exercise. And I needed to keep those things in mind because those things are important to me. So it's a hard thing to balance all of it in addition to all of the emotional things. Now, my grieving process and my emotional feelings were much different than the emotional feelings and the grieving process of my husband's family. They all knew my mother-in-law very well. They had known her, some of them knew her their whole life. Some of them were impacted by her. My mother-in-law was the type of woman who made breakfast, lunch, and dinner for her children. She volunteered at local charities and in the community. She was a wonderful wife, an incredible friend, and a mentor to countless young people who she cared for. And she was very kind and thoughtful and other-centered and very social and always wanted to know how everyone was doing and how can I be, how can I support you? How can I pray for you? She was just one of those people that I want to be like, right? I want to be remembered the way she was remembered. And the grieving process that I had and the feelings I had were much different than those of my husband's family of origin, because they were grieving that she was gone. And I was grieving not only that I would never know her, because by the time I met her, she was in different stages of Alzheimer's and dementia. And so she didn't know me. But not only was I grieving the fact that I didn't know her and I never would know her this side of heaven, but that I never had anyone like her in my life. I didn't have a mom like her who was loving and kind and caring and prepared breakfast, lunch, and dinner and, volunteered at local charities and mentored other young people and was caring and loving and sweet and kind and thoughtful and responsible and other-centered, just all the things that I hope to one day be remembered for. I was grieving that not only did I not know her personally, and that everyone I knew did know her personally. I can't even go to the supermarket without someone telling me what a wonderful woman my mother-in-law was, or how lucky and blessed I am to be married to my husband because he comes from such a wonderful family, right? Like, I live in a very small town and everybody knows everybody. And my in-laws, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they spent the winters here for 37 years. 37 years they spent the winters here. For 3 months out of the year, every year for 37 years, they spent time with all the people I know and that I hang out with and that I spend time with and that I see at church or around town or what have you. So not only did I not know her, and I wanted to, but it wasn't possible. But I will never know her this side of heaven, and I never knew anyone like her. Like, I didn't have what my husband had. I didn't have what my daughter-in-law had. I mean, my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, And not to make this about me, but, we're here and we're on this YouTube channel, and I'm asking you, how do you feel? And the title of today's video is, we're having a community discussion and we're asking ourselves, how do I feel? Well, if we're talking about 3 weeks ago, I felt amazing. I was headed off on a business trip. I'm collaborating with a team of people, writing a book for practitioners to raise awareness about complex PTSD, which is not recognized as a legitimate diagnosis in the United States of America. In other countries who utilize the ICD-11 as a reference guide to diagnosing mental illnesses, yes, complex PTSD is referenced. It's accepted as a diagnosis. But here in the United States, where the therapists and the social workers and the counselors and the lay people, they utilize the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5th edition, which is, that's how they look up mental disorders and mental illnesses and how to care for people, right? So, 3 weeks ago, I was off on this amazing trip, work with a very skilled bunch of people who write for a living, and they're offering their time pro bono to help me get out some sort of a resource and materials and publication to inform doctors and dentists and nurses and helping professionals and people who run, help medically and emotionally and spiritually and otherwise in places like prisons and churches and doctors' offices and dentist offices, hospitals, all of it, right? Here I am working with this incredible team of people who write for a living, and they're offering their time. And it's amazing, and I feel blessed and grateful and fortunate to even have an opportunity. That was 3 weeks ago. Then 2 weeks ago, I was, headed to a memorial service. I was, in fact, let's be real. 2 weeks ago, I was in a car right now, okay? I was in a car that I had just rented, and I was driving from the state of Washington to the state of Minnesota in the dark, hoping that it would all go well and hoping that I would be dressed appropriately and that everything would work out the way it needed to work out. That was 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago, I had already returned the day before from my mother-in-law's celebration of life service, and I was out for a walk at sunset with all of you in Spokane, Washington, wrapping up a business trip that I was very excited to be on, and had the opportunity of meeting amazing people, being hosted by different families who just have a heart for the work I do, and cooking me amazing meals and just being so kind and loving and just wonderful, right? But it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing, you guys. That's 3 weeks ago to 2 weeks ago to 1 week ago, and then here I am. So how do I feel? I feel fortunate to feel all these feelings. I know what it's like to feel nothing. I know what it's like to be completely dissociated from my feelings. I know what it's like to have such constant pain that I just want to find a way to die, right? So right now, I'm sitting here, I'm watching all my little birdies eat. Can you guys see? Can you guys see how cute this is? Let me just, can you even, how adorable are they, right? So right now, how am I feeling? I'm feeling fortunate to even feel all these feelings. I mean, I texted my one and only child today, who actually responded to my text right away, and I was able to talk to him on the phone today and tell him how excited I was that I would be putting together a graduation celebration for him in about a month from now, right? About a month and a half from now, I'm going to be celebrating first generation college graduate in my family. To me, that's amazing. I feel fortunate and I feel blessed. Now, is it all sunshine and roses and butterflies and rainbows and whatever? No, it's not. It's hard. But I feel fortunate to be able to feel all of these things. And I'm just gonna count my blessings, because, it's a hard thing when you can't feel stuff. I know what that's like, to just be numb, right? That's what happens. That's why those of us who, identify with the term self-harm or self-injury, a lot of people who are living with suicidal ideation, many of them, they don't know how to feel. They're not able to feel anything. The reason that there's self-injury and self-harm going on is because they just want to feel anything, even if it's pain, right? Because they've been dissociated half their life because of childhood trauma, that they don't know how to feel. So I'm grateful, even though it's painful and there's a lot going on and it's very emotional. I'm grateful to be able to feel. I'm grateful to be able to experience the joy to hear my son's voice today. Was it a brief conversation? Yeah, he's a student. He's going to be graduating with his degree in neuroscience. He was telling me about how he got to meet. He's a bone marrow donor, right? and a platelet donor and a blood donor, but he donated bone marrow. And he got to meet the family that he donated bone marrow to. He got to meet the man that he donated bone marrow to. And like, to tell you that I'm proud to be his mother, like to say that I'm proud to be my son's mom, someone who not only enlisted in the military during a time of war, after he had almost a full ride scholarship to go to college, decided that that's what he wanted to do. So he served his country for 5.5 years. He donated, he almost died of meningitis, not in battle, but of meningitis that he contracted through the military. So he almost died. Then he became a blood donor and a bone marrow donor while he was still in the military. And he continued to donate whenever he was a match. And so here he has helped to save this man's life. And to say that I'm honored to even be related to him is like an understatement, you know? That's an incredible gift. So he got to meet this man and his whole family, and I get to meet them. I get to meet them in May. I get to meet them. They're gonna come to the graduation or the graduation party. So, you guys, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the gifts of actually being able to feel things. Like, I know what it's like to not feel. And to say that I'm grateful to feel all these things, even though it's messy feelings, you know, that would be an understatement. But I want to remind each and every one of us to be mindful of how it is we're feeling in our bodies. You know, let's remind ourselves that how we feel matters. How we're feeling physically matters. How we're feeling emotionally, it matters. How do we feel about ourselves? What are we thinking about our thoughts? First of all, what are we thinking? And then what are we feeling or thinking about the thoughts we're having? And are the thoughts we're having about ourselves, are they healthy and good thoughts? Or are we beating ourselves up? You know, it's important. These things are important. I just want to remind you how important it is to be kind to yourselves. Be kind when you're thinking or feeling a certain way. Please be kind to yourselves. Please be patient with yourself. Please just know that you matter, right? Your presence matters. I don't even know how to express that appropriately without like getting tears in my eyes. Like, each and every one of you matter. If you're here and you're listening to this right now, whether you're live or on a replay, I mean, each and every one of you, not one of you is here by mistake. You're hearing this message right now on purpose. It's not a coincidence that you're here. It's not a coincidence that you clicked here or that you're hearing this part of the message right now. Like, you matter. If you're looking for some sort of a reason to choose to show up for yourself, or to choose to heal, or to just be present and check in with yourself to see how you're feeling, then this is it. Here's your sign, right? Here's your sign. Here's your reminder. You're not here by accident. And even if no one has ever cared about you, even if you come from a family where no one cared about you, no one protected you, no one was kind to you, no one prepared your meals, made you breakfast, lunch, and dinner like my mother-in-law did. No one was a role model for you. No one put your spelling test or your artwork up on the refrigerator. No one showed up to parent-teacher night or open house or whatever they celebrate and do in whatever part of the world that you come from. You know, no one taught you how to cook. No one taught you how to bake. No one taught you how to clean the bathroom, or wipe counters, or sweep the floor, or rake leaves. No one was there for you, right? Maybe you didn't experience any of that. Neither did I. But I'm telling you right now, you matter. And you're not here on accident. You're here on purpose, for a purpose. So please just know that. Please just know that. And Thanks for sitting here with me and my birdies. I'm so happy that they decided to show up. I put some seeds out for them and they hadn't been here. And so maybe they were just waiting to hear us talk. Like, how awesome. How awesome that they're here, right? Anyway. Hey Andrew, I'm so happy you're here. So happy you're here, Andrew. Hello Jeffrey, I'm so happy you're here. So happy you're here, Vi. So happy you're here, Poppy. So happy each and every one of you are here. Hello, Jay, JC. I'm so happy you're here. Happy each and every one of you are here. Hello, Martha. I'm so happy you're here. Hello, baby Mojito 25. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Sharon. I'm glad you're here, Doris. I'm glad you're here, Pants. I'm glad you're here, Patrice. I'm glad you're here, Tabby Ba. I'm glad you're here, Angela. I'm glad you're here, Nexus. I'm glad you're here, Vi. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you so much, everyone. You're so welcome, Angela. I'm glad you're here, Shannon. I'm really glad each and every one of you are here. So I'm gonna... Hello, Pixie Painter. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, John Harvey. I'm glad you're here, Joey. Really, really glad you're here, each and every one of you. I'm gonna lean back now. I'm not gonna be able to see the chat box, but you guys, it's just so interesting the way our physical feelings affect our emotional feelings and the way our emotional feelings affect our physical feelings. You know, it's really interesting. I want to tell you about my weekend, if I may. And after my flight was delayed on Thursday, I woke up at 4 in the morning on Thursday. I took a bath and I was in a car on my way to the airport by 5 a.m. and I was at the airport by 5:30. I got checked in and I was waiting for my flight. I was early and it felt good to be early because my flight wasn't, you know, leaving until 7. So I sat there and it was nice, but I had this feeling that something was gonna be not good with my travel plans. I just had like an intuition, like a feeling. And so I had messaged my husband just to let him know, hey, I just have a feeling that something might be up with my travel plans today, like some delays or something. I just want you to know I'll keep you updated as much as I can. I checked in with my team, made sure that everything going on with work was okay, checked in with clients, like did everything I possibly could. But yet I'm still sitting there and I'm like, well, I have a feeling something's not gonna be good. Like we should have been boarding by now. I haven't even seen the flight crew. What's the deal? You know, we were supposed to board 5 or 10 minutes ago. And if my flight is delayed, I'm gonna miss my connection. I know it. And so I was reaching out to as many people as I could, just asking them to pray and please pray that all my connections are on time and that I'm able to make it home. You know, it was like just one of those things. So I get on my flight and good news is we have a strong tailwind and we're gonna make up our time. We were delayed, but we were able to make up our time. And so it was an awesome thing that we were able to make up our time. And then I made it to my first connection. I had 2 connections. And then my second connection was delayed by an hour. That was it. I was going to miss my second connection. I wasn't going to be able to make it home. So I asked the people what I should do, and they say you need to call your airline because your first ticket is through us. This is Alaska Airlines. And your second and third ticket are from American Airlines. So you need to call American Airlines since we are the first leg of your flight, we meaning Alaska, and we can't do anything about the second and third leg of your flight. I double checked, is my baggage going all the way through to home? To Hawaii, and they said yes, your baggage is checked all the way through to your final destination. So I was really grateful for that. But so I found out I needed to call American Airlines. So I called American Airlines, and they were less than helpful. And they basically said, well, you'll get there eventually. You might arrive the next day, but you will get there. And I said, is there any way that I can please get on an earlier flight so that I can make my connection? I will run. I will do whatever you need me to do. I will pay. What can I do? What can I do? I just want to get on an earlier flight. Oh, nope, sorry. We only have one flight going to Los Angeles. Okay, let me get this straight. You're American Airlines, and you have one flight going to Los Angeles all day. There's nothing. Only the one flight that I am on that's delayed, and I'm going to miss my connection home. And she's like, yes, ma'am. Like, there's nothing she could do. Nothing. And so I was despondent. I was sad. I messaged my husband and basically told him that I wasn't going to be there until the following day, which really is a shame because we had prepaid reservations to go stay at this little area where we go like hang out and go camping and like stay the night at this little, like these little cabins or whatever near the volcano where I live. And we had already prepaid it. So that meant that he was just going to have to be up there by himself celebrating our wedding anniversary. I wasn't going to make it back. So I was so bummed. I went and got myself a cup of coffee at Starbucks because I had a Starbucks gift card from my husband. And, because coffee is awesome and it cheers me up. And so I went and got some coffee and I got some water. And I was just walking very slowly to my new area that I needed to go to because everything was delayed. And I have the hairs on the back of my neck sort of stand up, and I got this chill. And I look over and there's this huge counter. No one's in line. And it's in the middle of like where you would normally walk and like where there would normally be like areas where people board planes. But there was no gates. It was just a big long counter. And it says Alaska Airlines. And there are 3 smiling people seated there. And I'm walking by and I look really sad and I look over and I look at one of the gals and she says, "Good morning. Is there anything I can do to help?" And I'm like walking by and I just stop and I'm like, well, I don't think so, but I have a lot of time, so let's just give it a shot. And she's like, okay, let's talk. What's going on? How can I help? Can I help at all? And I'm like, well, let me explain what's happened. I'm like, I booked my flights through American Airlines. My first flight was on Alaska. The last 2 are on American. I'm trying to get home to celebrate my wedding anniversary. My flight on American is delayed over an hour, and I'm gonna probably not arrive to my final destination until tomorrow. And I only have a couple days to celebrate my wedding anniversary with my husband, just the weekend, and then we both go back to work. And she's like, well, let's see what we can do. And I'm telling you, this gal, her name was Janelle McAllister. She moved heaven and earth. She picks up the phone and she goes, oh, well, we have a flight headed to Maui that's leaving in like less than 45 minutes. Why couldn't we just put you on that one? And I'm like, I don't know. Are we allowed to do that? And she's like, well, let's find out. And so she calls the gate and she's talking to this guy, and she's like, she's explaining to him in airplane speak, like what has happened and what my situation is and how I'm trying to celebrate my wedding anniversary. And so she puts her hand over the phone and she looks at me and she smiles really big and she said, "We have a good one. He's a good one. And there's hope yet." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And so she talks to him and then she goes, "Okay, I'm gonna call right now. I know you guys are T minus 41 or whatever." Like, it's like they're talking in all these different languages, about like it's less than 41 minutes to whatever. Like, could you just don't sell the seats? You got this, you got that, blah blah blah. Like, hold the seats, but don't sell the seats. And I'm gonna call you back in 4 minutes and blah 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 blah. Like, she just was like amazing. So not only is she calling her own gate and talking to these people, but then she decides she's going to call American Airlines. And she's talking to the people at American Airlines in all of their airplane lingo. And she's like, "Nope, don't worry about it. I'll sell it right now. I already sold it. Da, 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 like, da, 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 just release it, this and do that, and blah, 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 all this stuff." And I'm just sitting there with my mouth, like, I must have looked like hilarious because I was just, my jaw was dropped. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Is this actually going to work out?" She puts her hand over the phone and she says, I think it's all going to work out. I think it's going to be great. You're going to get to celebrate your wedding anniversary." And I'm like almost in tears because I'm just like overjoyed at this, the woman that has just decided to like go out of her way to help me. It's not because she was going to benefit in some way. She works for a whole nother airline. Like, they didn't charge me anything, nothing. She goes, and then she leans over to one of her coworkers that's sitting there talking to the other coworker, and they're all laughing or whatever. And she goes, "I need you to call such and such and do the blah 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 and whatever, because they're T minus 30, 37, they did blah 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 whatever." And so she gets on the phone and says, "What's her name?" And then they give her my, "Oh, it's Athena Moberg, blah blah blah," and "Yep, she'll be there. Yep, nope, don't sell the seat, blah, 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 whatever, whatever." And so the gal, she goes, "Here, let me print this out for you." And she puts the lady in American Airlines on hold. She has her coworker call the gate for Alaska. And she says to me, "I know I'm printing this out for you right now, and it says you're going to need this special deal that you're going to have." But by faith, I just need you. By faith, I need you to just go to the gate, just knowing that I'm going to provide this for you. Can you do that? And I'm like, "Yes, I'll run." She said, all you have to do is rely on yourself. Just get there. Just take this little deal and get back over to this terminal. I had to change terminals and everything. She says, "But they'll be waiting for you. You have a seat. And it's a premium economy seat even. Like, so you have extra legroom." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh." Like, so I'm like upgraded. It's like this awesome, anyway. So it was unbelievable, you guys. So I run. I'm like, "Can I throw this away?" I threw away my coffee, which, hello, by the way, I've never done. Like, I don't ever throw away coffee. Like, why would you do that? Who throws away coffee? No one. So I'm like running with my water. I'm trying to get on this, like, what do you call it? Like a tram that takes you, like a sky shuttle or like a monorail to go to the different terminals or whatever. And so I get over there, I'm running, I'm waving my piece of paper at them, and they're like, "Yay," and they're all like clapping, they're all happy. And I'm like, "Who is that gal? What is her name?" And they're like, "It's Janelle." And I'm like, "What's her last name?" And they said McAllister. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she deserves a raise. Like, she did not need to help me, and she went out of her way." And they're like, "Go to AlaskaListens.com or Alaska Airlines Listens," or something like that. And that's so awesome that if you could just, just let them know. And like, "We're so happy it worked out, and you have a wonderful celebration of your anniversary." And like, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, that was like within the course of like 20 minutes, I had left my husband a voicemail letting him know I wouldn't be there till the next day. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting in a seat on an airplane, direct, without a connection, telling him that I'm like gonna arrive at a such and such time, right around a similar time that I would have arrived or whatever. But it's like, anyway. So then, I just asked, like, like what would happen to my luggage. They're like, "Well, it'll get there separately from you, but don't worry." And so anyhow, my luggage was lost briefly. But it was found, and it was awesome, and I got my luggage, and it was fine. And like, but I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, I was able to have dinner with my husband on Thursday night, and we got to wake up Friday morning up by the volcano and just have coffee and hang out, and we took naps and we played games and we went for walks and we just like sat by the fireplace and we celebrated our anniversary. I mean, you guys, like that kind of, I mean, how do I feel? I mean, I could feel irritated and frustrated and annoyed at, you know, American Airlines. But honestly, I think I just feel grateful. I think I just feel grateful that I was able to even experience all of those feelings that I just described over the last 3 weeks of, excited about business travel, learning of my mother-in-law's passing, dealing with confusion and grief and, all kinds of different stuff. And then, the being happy that I get to continue the work that I'm doing, and then like being worried and fearful that I'm not going to make it, and then finding out that I am going to make it and feeling relieved. And like, I mean, talk about the range of emotions all within the context of 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks ago today, I was boarding a flight to go to Washington. 2 weeks ago, I was driving from Washington State to Minnesota for a funeral. 1 week ago today, I had gotten back from that funeral and I was working. And then here I am today. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just a lot, you guys. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to feel all the different feelings. And I'm also very aware that it takes vulnerability to allow yourself to be able to feel, because it's easy to just block your emotions and be like, I'm not going to feel any of this. Like, why would I want to get my hopes up? I'm just going to get let down, right? Like, how many times have we told ourselves that? Oh, I'm afraid to feel hopeful or good because it's just going to end the same as it always does, and I'm not going to, it's all going to go wrong. Nothing ever goes right for me, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, I've done those things my whole life, right? Don't want to get my hopes up. I'm just going to get let down. I'm afraid to feel hopeful. I'm afraid to even dream of what it would be like to be out of this abusive situation, or, why would I even dream about that? Like, I'm probably going to end up back here. This is just going to be my reality forever and ever. And, I'm a single mom, and I was a single mom for 17 years, and like I struggled financially and couldn't afford milk, and, paid overdraft fees every single month for years because I was living paycheck to paycheck trying to raise my kid. And I mean, like, I could get stuck in like, this is probably how my life's always going to be. But I'm telling you, you guys, it takes a lot of courage to allow ourselves to feel all of the feelings. And the only way we're ever going to heal is to allow ourselves to feel all of the different feelings, a range of different emotions and feelings. And I just want to tell you that, things can change. And it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But I just want to encourage you today that wherever you're at and whatever you're feeling, and if you're not able to feel because you're just numb from being dissociated your whole life, like, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. And you're not here by accident. You're here on purpose, for a purpose. It's not a coincidence that you're here right now. So please just know that, and please just know that I care about you. Even if I don't know you personally and I've never gotten a chance to meet you in person, or we've never communicated through, SpeakPipe on my website, or even if you have left me a SpeakPipe message and I haven't had an opportunity to respond, or you've emailed me and I haven't emailed you back, or even if we might never meet in person or online, you're just an observer. You're just here listening. Just know that there are no coincidences, and that you're here for a reason, and that you're cared about, and that your feelings matter. Your emotions matter. Your physical feelings matter. Everything matters. You matter. So that's all I wanted to say. I have a question. Do you guys want me to leave? I have to go inside right now, and I have to attend to some work, and I have a client that I need to help with something right now. in about 15 seconds at quarter till. So I have a question. Do you guys want me to leave the camera rolling here so you can watch the birdies and watch the sun set? I don't know if it'll last all the way to sunset, but you never know. Or do you want me to turn it off and end the video like I normally would and just say bye now and just, you know, end the video and turn it off? Do you want me to leave the video running and you can watch the birdies and watch the ocean and the trees and the breeze and the sunset? Or do you want me to turn it off? So just let me know. Nora says, leave it on, please. Great to see you, Nora. I'm so happy you're here. Angela says, I like the idea of chatting a bit longer. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'll leave it. Yes, yes. Ann Austin says, yes, leave it running. Jeffrey says, let us watch the beautiful view and listen to the birds. Yay. Oh my gosh. It's a resounding yes. Leave it on. Thank you, Sharon, for weighing in. Thank you, Pants. Oh, you guys are awesome. So once I get done doing what I'm doing in there, I can come back out here possibly. I don't know how long it's going to take me. Hi, Connie. Oh, yes. Vi says we're having a yard party. Poppy says, I'll be having to leave y'all, but I'll see you next week. Oh, Poppy, thank you for all you do. Thank you, Poppy, for posting the crisis information for everyone. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, baby mojito. Oh, Martha has to do some work, so she says it doesn't matter. Oh, Martha, I'm so happy you took the time to be here, though. Okay, I gotta run, and I have to go attend to some work. But I'll be out here with you guys if I can be. And if the battery dies, please know that I'm thinking of you. And we will do this again next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'm just sending you so much love and so much compassion and so much healing. And you all are so welcome. Oh, thanks for all the thank yous. Oh, you guys are amazing. Bye, James. Bye, Nora. Bye, Ann. 8 p.m. Central, yes. Bye, Jeffrey. Bye, John Harvey. Bye, Angela. Sending you hugs. You're welcome, James. Bye, Pants. Okay, I gotta run. I will, I'll see you guys next week. Oops, let me move this just slightly. How about that? Awesome. Okay, I'll see you guys soon, or if the battery dies, bye, Hunter, you're so welcome. If the battery dies, then I'll see you next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and I think it's 7 p.m. Mountain, if I'm not mistaken. Bye, Shannon. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye. If you haven't given this video a thumbs up and you think that you might like it, or that someone else might like it, then it would mean a lot to me if you gave this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.